desperation intensifies for the final battle, every man searching for an edge. Past sundown, and just like an old Western, both sides line up for the final shootout. The fans are also primed, including a record television audience. President Jimmy Carter is also present. But the hometown cheers are conducted by Baltimore's #1 enthusiast, Wild Bill Hagee.
They had us by the throat.
That foul tipped and held by Dempsey. So Baltimore goes up 3-1.
It was 3-1. Baltimore was in Pittsburgh. And they announced the Baltimore lineup.
Outfielder Pat Kelly.
Pat Kelly runs out, gets on the line, dancing and Cano. And I say, see you dance the 7th game, mother, you know.
Parker, he'll get the run in with a drive into the gap in left center field.
When you're a professional athlete, you look for anything to give you just a little bit more reason to go a little bit harder.
So the Bucks have exploded. It's 7-1.
If it's Pat Kelly, so be it. That's what it is. We'll take what we can get.
And they go back to Baltimore. There was no doubt about it.
Game 6, back in Baltimore. Pat Kelly comes in. He's dressed to the nine with his black and white hat on, and he's got this jacket on.
Ain't no stopping us now.
That was just another reason to want to put them in their place.
Ken Jacoby and the Pirates, both resembling the team we're accustomed to seeing.
And the Pittsburgh Pirates have fought back to make it all even after 6 games. You're looking at Scott McGregor, who starts the ball game tonight for the Baltimore Orioles, his 2nd start in the World Series. Confident young man. Earlier he talked with Howard.
Scotty, you're human, you're young, the climactic moment up till now of your career. It's a little frightening, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. You can phrase it as scared to death if you really want to. Sometimes you have to just let the butterflies come, and once the game gets around to the start, I'm sure I'll be fine. Once I get out on the mound and the game starts and the first pitch is thrown out, it comes back right down to reality, and it's another ball game for me to pitch in.
What'd you learn about this club the last time out?
Well, I learned that I can pitch my ball game against them, and they're a free-swinging ball club. Not too many pitches go past the plate that they don't swing at, and if in the first few innings of the game I didn't mix speeds as well, and they hit the ball real well, so I think that I have to pitch like I pitch all the time, mix my speeds and move the ball around in the strike zone.
At 25 years of age, at this level of sport, you have to be acquainted with reality. Otherwise, you won't last very long. And Omar Moreno will lead off again for Pittsburgh. He'll be followed by Tim Foley. Then comes Dave Parker, Bill Robinson, and Willis Stargell, Bill Madlock, Steve Nicosia doing the catching with a left-hander on the mound. He's a right-handed batter. Phil Garner and Jim Bibby will bat in the number 9 spot. The Orioles go out on the field. They are wearing those goldenrod shirts that they wore in the opening game of the series, a game in which they scored 5 runs in the first inning and won the game 5-4. And John Lowenstein will be in left field tonight. He is the better glove man out there. Benny Ayala had a couple of problems last night. Over in center field, Al Bumbry will start with a right-hander on the mound, and he, of course, is the one of great speed in the outfield. In right field, the strong one, Ken Singleton. And the outfield, incidentally, is very nicely dried out now and very firm. Moving to the inside for Baltimore, Doug DeSensei doing a little running in the outfield before the game, pulled up sharply and grabbed his left knee, and it took him quite a bit of time to walk the kink out. But he's in there. Kiko Garcia is at shortstop again tonight. Speculation had been Belanger would be there. Not so. Garcia's back. Over at second base tonight, this young man, Rich Dauer, who had a shot hit at him last night that he couldn't come up with. Had he fielded Dave Parker's shot, it might have been a different ball game, but he didn't. At first base, Steady Eddie Murray, and this is a guy that's really worrying Earl Weaver. His bat has been very, very quiet over the last 4 games. Back of the plate, here's a horse for you. He is a pivotal member of this ball club, one of the better catchers in all of baseball, Rick Dempsey. And on the mound, young Scott McGregor, who was born and raised in California and lives now just down the road in Coxeyville from Baltimore. The umpires for tonight's ball game, Jerry Newdecker out of the American League, is back at the plate. Bob Engel of the National League at first, Russ Getz of the American League at second, Terry Tate of National League at third, Jim McKean, American League, down the left side, and Paul Runge of the National League down the right side. Dimensions of the ballpark again. It is short down each side, 309. Then it fades away to 385 up the alley, 405 in dead center. They play on dirt and grass here in Baltimore.
Well, Keith, as you said, this field is in perfect shape right now. It might not look that maybe on one of your pictures, but Santarone, the groundskeeper, he has been out here. He moved a 15-ton roller on it. He says that's the heaviest that he's ever used on this field because he says after the football game, I had to get the lumps out of there. And he said it took me 15 tons to do it. So what you're looking at now, you're looking at a fast Memorial Stadium.
And the winner of this game goes home the champion of baseball for 79. And the first pitch to Moreno is inside and tight for ball 1. Two balls and no strikes.
I think one of the keys right here tonight is as you're looking at the home plate umpire, Jerry Newdecker, nobody is a stranger to him because Bibby, he had Bibby in the American League at Cleveland and Texas, and he knows McGregor.
There's the first strike by Scotty. Always makes you feel better to get the first strike on the plate, doesn't it?
Just to throw it.
Yes, right. The count is 2 balls and 1 strike. Up the middle it goes, and once again Moreno pops it up the middle. That's the 3rd base hit of the series that he's hammered right up the pipe.
Well, there's the key man for Pittsburgh. They need him on. He's got to stay there. And you look at it again, McGregor behind on the count. He comes, has the ball up over the plate, and Moreno just takes it right back up the middle. He hit that ball hard.
As Foley comes to the plate, folks, remember this. One of the reasons he's been so successful with the Bucks is because he hits between Moreno and Parker. With Moreno on first, always a threat to go, Foley gets a lot of fastballs. And so, Foley hits the fastball better than anything else.
Now, the key about the Baltimore pitchers, they've been able to hold those runners on well.
Pittsburgh does not have a stolen base in this series.
Meanwhile, Omar Moreno, after a dreadful start in the series, has come alive. He's now got 9 hits and 29 times at bat.
McGregor is low to Foley for ball 1.
Scott threw 2 balls to Moreno. He's thrown 1 now to Foley. That's 3. He only had 18 thrown balls out of 96 in his first outing.
Moreno edging off, testing the pitcher. McGregor goes over there. Playing a little game with him now. Moreno, that'll show you right there the move of how much respect that Moreno has to McGregor, because he turned to go back to the bag and Scott delivered to the plate and got a called strike.
And right now, Foley checking with his third base coach, Joe Lynette. Foley ahead on the count. Tanner might be waiting for McGregor to throw a strike. He's got the strike 2 and 1. They might start something.
He's going to first. That's a tough move.
McGregor's got a good move. Flanagan's got a good move. Palmer a very quick move.
The tip-off on Moreno. If Baltimore's correct in its reading, is when he gets his feet close together, he's going. The bunt down in front of the pitching mound. Moreno is in at second. as Foley sacrifices him to the turn.
Well, you can see what Chuck Tanner is thinking right now. Give me a run in any inning that I can possibly get it. And that was an old theory of Bobby Bragan's. He says, if I can sacrifice, he says, and be successful 50% of the time, you've got to get 5 or 6 runs to beat me.
Now McGregor will pitch to Parker, who has 10 hits and 24 trips for the World Series.
Must have been a good theory. That's why Bobby had one of the losingest teams of all time in '56 when he was managing the Bucks.
He didn't have these horses in '56.
Sore, very sore knee. In his case, being a left-handed hitter, the left knee, the back leg, makes it kind of hard to shove off. High pop to the infield. Doug DeCinces, the third baseman, comes to the mound and makes the catch. Two out, and the batter is Bill Robinson. Robinson hitting in between Parker and Stargell tonight with the left-hander out there.
He is a very tough hitter. Season's average misleading, 262. But he had 24 home runs, and he had a lot of ribbons, 75. Good clutch hit.
Foul back.
McGregor, velocity-wise, he's not the hardest thrower on the Baltimore staff, but he's a cutie out there.
He's got a little jerky move just before the ball comes to you. That's deceptive.
Cunning is the word. Fastest pitch he's thrown is 87 miles per hour.
Is that little jerky move enough to bother somebody, you think?
Well, anytime you get a little pitcher that's a little unorthodox, he isn't not that much unorthodox, but he's got that little herky-jerky delivery, and sometimes if you're not ready, that ball can get on you. Now, what will complement his fastball is his off-speed pitches, the curveball and the straight change. He's the one that taught Flanagan the change.
Foul back, out of play. They count 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 out, and Omar Moreno at second base.
He moves it around on you all the time. One pitch inside, the other pitch out. One high, one low.
And that's the secret of pitching. And all it is a confrontation between pitcher and hitter where you try and keep the hitter off balance. And now Dempsey just wants to go out, I think, right now and just double-check with McGregor and see exactly what's on his mind. What does he want to do right here to Robinson?
High pop-up. DeCinces makes the catch. The inning is over. Moreno singles to lead the game. He's retired on the bases as McGregor shuts him out in the top half of the first. 6'5" 34-year-old Jim Bibby out on the mound. Here's some comments from him prior to the start of the game.
Jim, what did you learn about the Birds the last time out?
Well, I pitched against Baltimore during the course of my career because I was in the American League with them. You know, I don't think that I'm going to do anything different than I've been doing all year. I thought I threw the ball good during the course of my career this year with the Pirates, and I basically am a fastball pitcher, and I'm going with my fastball, and I had a repertoire of my curveball and my slider throwing it over the plate when I needed it, when I'm behind big hitters, and I'm basically going to do the same thing that I did during the course of the season.
So the big right-hander ready to go. Since he pitched in Cleveland when Frank Robinson managed over there, he has added a good curveball to his assortment of pitches. And the Orioles will line up with Bunbury, Garcia, Singleton, Murray, Lowenstein, DeCinces, Dempsey, Dauer, and the pitcher, McGregor. So Bunbury, whose bat has been silent in the series pretty much, stands up. He's 3 for 18. Strike fastball.
Bunbury is a much better hitter than that World Series average. Weaver is counting on the fact that Al may come out of it tonight.
Strike 2. The defense at both corners of the infield, and there you see the outer and inner defenses for Pittsburgh, but Madlock is on the edge of the grass at third, guarding against the possible bunt. Now with 2 strikes, the bunt has been lessened, and Willis Stargell backs up on the right side, and Bunbury fouls it back. A 2-strike count on the Baltimore leadoff man Bunbury. It's rolled to the right side. It's a fair ball. Stargell has it, gloves it, does it himself.
Now, you usually don't want to slide into first. You lose time doing it. But there, it was the right move. Explain why, Don.
Well, number one, Stargell's coming down the line, and Bunbury already sees that he's going to try and make the play on him and not at the bag, and all Al's trying to do, as you would if you're sliding to second or third, and it's a close play, you're just trying to elude the tag. That was it.
The batter is Kiko Garcia, shortstop. Kenny Singleton to the on-deck circle. Garcia 7 for 17 in the series and 6 runs batted in. Had a bit of a rough time last night. An error of omission more than commission. And pops it up foul, drifting back and out of play.
I think the pregame interview with Earl Weaver tells you why Garcia is starting. There are 2 reasons. A, Belanger still troubled by the leg injury he suffered in an earlier game. And B, he wants the bat of Garcia, which has been a good bat with 7 hits and 6 ribbies during the course of the series.
That's hit on the ground to the second baseman, Phil Garner. 2 out. There's a rundown on what's happened going into this 7th game. Baltimore winning the first, Pittsburgh the second, Baltimore the next 2, Pittsburgh the next 2. Ken Singleton, 10 hits and 25 trips.
Yeah, since that Sunday game in Pittsburgh, just kind of watching Baltimore, it seems as though that you wonder if anyone's taken the bull by the horn.
That fastball is on the inside corner.
This is Singleton and young Mr. Singleton.
What I mean by that is you get in a series like this, and sometimes you have a tendency maybe you lay back just a little bit, or maybe you're not going that well, and all of a sudden you say, well, so-and-so will pick us up, so-and-so will pick us up, so-and-so, they'll pick us up. But nobody does that. As you look at this pitch again, good fastball by Bibby, 92 miles an hour. Instead of really going out there, and as I say, just take the bull by the horns and then make something happen. Because all they've had to do is win one, but Pittsburgh, they've been the ones that's really made things happen.
Ball is hit to the right side. Stargell will go to the pitcher Bibby covering, and Baltimore is gone in order. So we've played 1 inning, and we have no score. For the Pirates, in the top of the second, Willie Stargell will lead off. Before the ball game, Howard talked to him.
Off your prior matchup against McGregor, what do you think of that kid?
I'm very impressed with him. He's around the plate. He changes speeds well. He can sneak the fastball by you. He knows what he's doing. He's a very gutsy individual. If he gets the ball up, he knows he's in trouble. If he keeps it down, then we got our work cut out for us. But we are just prepared to meet whatever challenge is necessary.
You could tell Willie's struggling with a cold. Just about everybody on both teams seems to have some cold. That's looped out into short left field. It's going to drop. Base hit. Willie Stargell. He takes a big swing at first. He's going to second as the ball gets away. First miscue of the ball game right there. Lowenstein overran it, didn't come up with it cleanly.
Early in the series, as you look at it again, all the fielding mistakes were being made, or nearly all of them, by the Bucks. Suddenly, last night, the Birds, and right here. Look at that, Don.
Well, I think what Johnny Lowenstein did, he just overran the ball. Stargell is not going to go for 2 in that situation, and John just might have forgot the speed of Stargell and actually tried to hurry himself too much.
Bill Madlock is up there with 9 hits and 21 trips, and the strike is in.
And, you know, he's going to be trying to move to the right side. That's just by the book right there, trying to move Stargell to third if he can.
I still believe that advancing runners should be an official statistic.
Pulls it to the left side. Garcia's over, holds Stargell, throws, and Murray scoops it out.
No, he pulled the ball, and that's a mistake.
Well, that is a mistake, but think of the pitch that he got. McGregor made a good pitch on him. He took a little bit off the breaking pitch. And if you're not really disciplined on that particular swing, what you've got, you're going to pull the ball over.
He'll hit it out early, which is exactly what Rick Dempsey did when the score was still 0-0 in the last game we did last night. It was a key point in the ball game. Rick will tell you himself that's exactly what he did.
Steve Nicosia 1 for 12. The Pittsburgh catcher at the plate. 1 out. And Phil Garner on deck. Nicosia fouls it back out of play.
In there, of course, because the opposition pitcher is a southpaw.
Ball is hit high in the air to the left side. DeSensei looking for his 3rd put out of the ball game and has it. To keep hitting him that high, old Doug's going to have a crick in his neck.
Another good pitch by McGregor. He threw him the change. He was out in front, completely off balance.
The hottest hitter in the series, and one of the duo that you heard Chuck Tano label as the key to the ball club's comeback and the key to their success. Phil Garner, the little pepper pot, with 11 for 21 thus far in the series.
I think they're going to walk him. They are.
Should do that.
With the pitcher coming up next, they are going to walk Phil Garner, and that's something he can tell his grandchildren about. Now here comes one of those terrifying moments for a pitcher when he's done all of this at the instructions of the manager. Now here comes the big horse up there, 6'5", 225 pounds, and just accidentally could whack one on you.
Well, he hit a couple of home runs during the regular season. It's not the worst hitting pitch you'll ever see.
No, he's not. He swings the bat.
Didn't cheat him on that one. Strike one.
He took a good cut.
He took a good swing, but the ball was by him.
Yeah, it was.
He's got to start it a little bit quicker.
2 out, 2 on. Ball 1, 1-1. Rolls it to the right side. Play to the pitcher at first. Dauer throwing to the pitcher McGregor, covering for the 3rd out after 1.5. Still no score. That fragile little factor called concentration. You see this ball rolled out to the second baseman, Dauer. Look at Eddie Murray, the first baseman. He looks at the ball. Now he makes almost no effort to go to the bag. Now the pitcher, Scott McGregor, has to come on the dead run to make the play at first.
Let me tell you, it was a mental lapse by Murray, and McGregor's quickness getting over saved them. They could well have had a bases-filled situation.
Very easily, and that's just one of those things. That's just an instinct thing. You're taught that from day one of spring training. Any ball hit to the right side, get over there. And there, actually, Dauer made a good play, too, because he's got to hit McGregor on the dead run.
Murray comes to the plate. In 8 trips in games 1 and 2, he reached base 7 times on 4 hits and 3 walks. But since then, in 18 appearances, the only time he's been on base, he reached on a walk, an error, and the fielder's choice. So in the last 4 games, he's 0 for 17.
That guy thinks he's at Pimlico.
Swing and a foul for strike 1.
Murray is a very intense young man. He's not an especially communicative young man, and you can tell that he's very troubled by the sudden slump he's fallen into. Last 17 times up, he hasn't gotten a hit in this series, and he was the big hitter the first 2 games.
Strike 2 as Bibby gets out in front with Lowenstein on deck and DeSensei to follow in the bottom of the 2nd inning with no score.
How do you think Bibby looks compared with the last time he worked?
I'd say he's about the same right now. He's got the good control, and that's the key to Bibby. If the home plate starts bouncing around on him a little bit, why then he can get in trouble.
Just outside, 1 and 2. Struck him out. Bent the deuce in there and got him.
Here's a good breaking pitch, too, because he took a little bit off of it. Now, he just threw him a 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Now comes back with a breaking pitch. He takes a little bit off, and it's in a perfect location.
So the speed sets up the breaking.
John Lowenstein's up there now with the sensei to the on-deck circle.
This is how Bibby has become a pitcher, as we have told you and as you have heard. Development of the curveball, the improvement of his location.
Fastball ripped in there for strike 1. 92 miles an hour. Jim is such a big horse. His brother Henry, who plays professional basketball, is about 6'1". I think Jim used to keep Henry pushed away from the plate or something.
Jim told me he taught Henry how to throw those set shots.
Jim had a basketball scholarship to Fayetteville State down in North Carolina and did not play any baseball in college.
Well, everything was spotlighted, really, on the Baltimore pitching staff, and it's no secret they do have a great staff. But Pittsburgh, they have shown a few people that they've got some good arms over there, too.
That's a strike, and Lowenstein is gone. Doug DeCinces walks to the plate, and prior to the ball game with Howard had these comments about Bibby.
Doogie, what's the difference between Jim Bibby now and when you used to hit him against him in the American League?
Well, I think, Howard, the big difference between Jim Bibby now than when we faced him before was that right now he has excellent control with his breaking ball. Before in the American League, that whenever he got behind, you could bet that he was going to come with his fastball, just mainly because he couldn't get consistent strikes with his breaking ball.
And DeCinces goes up the middle for Baltimore's first hit of the ball game, and Mrs. DeCinces enjoys that moment of success for her husband. Christie.
Before this series ends, Don, we've got to go down and sit with the Wilds.
Well, they're lovely ladies on both sides. We commented on that from Pittsburgh.
Rick Dempsey, the Baltimore catcher. To Madlock at third on a short hop. Bill throws and gets him, and the inning is over.
What a cute shot.
We played 2 innings of baseball in game number 7 of the 1979 World Series. There is no score as you see Bill Madlock, his sure hands, making the third out in the second inning. All the Hog fans are hoping the Horns are a little soft after their big game last week against Oklahoma. We'll see. Top of the order for Pittsburgh, Moreno. Foul, strike 1.
With Moreno at the plate, and you can see that his confidence has grown in this series by his mere bearing, you have to acknowledge the fact that the Pittsburgh Pirates are turning their lineup around more often than the Birds have been, at least in the last 2 games. And that's a key, Keith. You know that. To offensive success, although the Bucks do already have 3 men left on base.
1 ball and 1 strike. McGregor, jaw set, comes to the plate. Moreno hits it out into right field. Singleton comes in and makes the catch. That's the first time that Omar has been able to get a ball to the right side, at least in the games that I have seen.
Don't we have Grambling Jackson State as a college regional?
Yep.
I can see that Grambling band now, marching into the Ode to Billy Joe. What a bunch. Oh.
Tim Foley pops him up on the right side. Dempsey on the dead run. It's in the crowd.
Got to figure that the Bucks are hitting at this point in the series so much more aggressively. The Birds are being hurt badly by the failure of Al Bunbury to get on. You know that?
Well, just looking at the way the hitters are approaching the ball, Howard, Pittsburgh right now, they just seem more aggressive to me. President Jimmy Carter in attendance tonight.
Is he keeping the scorecard?
Signing autographs. Up the middle it goes. Garcia flags it. Nice play by Kiko. Dandy play.
That was a good play. He had a ways to go on that, but he got a good jump there. He sets now. As contact is made, he gets a good jump. That ball could have come up and gone off the heel of his glove, but he stayed right with it and makes a fine play to get Foley.
And to get that good jump and to get to the ball, he was properly positioned. And Belanger has helped him so much in position play. Here's the big guy.
The motivator takes outside, ball 1. Foul upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Dave Parker. appeals down at third after Neudecker had called him out, and they say, "You're gone, big guy." So it's a strikeout for Scott McGregor. And after 2.5 innings of play in the final game of the 1979 World Series, we have no score. Those of you who have been watching Big Dave Parker all season can surely see a difference in his work at the plate. Let's define the injury that he has to his left knee.
You haven't exploded with the home run yet. Are you satisfied with your series thus far, you personally?
I'm fairly content with my series. I have 10 hits. I've driven in 4 runs. I've scored a few times. But I like to display a little power tonight. In a situation where, if necessary, I will be swinging for the long ball. I've been having problems with my left knee. I haven't been able to really sit back and push off my back leg. So that accounts for the flares to left field and most of my hits going to left field.
All right. That's the story on Big Dave. Now,
you know how he hurt the knee, Keith? It happened in a game against the Dodgers.
Yeah.
During the season, he went in a hole left by Omar Moreno's spikes. And the knee turned, and it hasn't been the same since.
All right, Jim Bibby pitches to Rich Dauer. Scott McGregor. That ball is hit well to left field. Way back. It's gone!
That's the young man we told you has been such a maturing ball player. He's the man who led the Birds throughout the season in game-winning hits. That's the way the Birds won their games all year long. The unexpected ones coming through as a team.
Well, he is laying on a fastball all the way, and he gets it up over the plate. He hits a line drive. He hits it well. And that could be something right there that just might wake that Baltimore bench up a little bit.
The first run is always the biggest in a ball game like this.
Pirate starter Jim Bibby is pitching a scoreless game in the third as Rich Dauer steps up to the choral cry of Section 34. Puts the Birds on top, 1-0, ending an Oriole runless drought of 15 frames. And the Bird watchers use all of their vocal power to help them get more.
Guess who's the happiest person in the ballpark?
This is Rich Dauer.
That's right. That's 21 career home runs for Rich. Oh, what a big one. Scott McGregor is at the plate now. The Baltimore pitcher swings and misses. He's been a switch hitter since his Little League days. When he was in the minors at Syracuse, Bobby Cox used him a lot as a left-handed pinch hitter. He took batting practice every day, so he's not a giveaway at the plate. On the ground to the shortstop, Foley. 1 out. Now back to the top of the order for Al Bumbry. And old Memorial Stadium in Baltimore is a-humming now.
You want to know what's interesting? They had originally scheduled Billy Smith to start at second. It wasn't until an hour and a half before the game that they went to Dauer. As of now, that's a big payoff.
And McGregor taking his time getting back, and of course a leadoff hitter will always do that. They'll take a little time to let the pitcher get back and get down and set a little bit, but now with that 1 run, the home run by Dauer, and Chuck Tanner very quickly has gone to the bullpen. He's got him throwing.
Don Robinson, who has a very tender right shoulder, is up and throwing in the pen, and he's another flamethrower.
And at the plate is Bumbry, the man who does for the Birds what Mickey Rivers used to do for the Yankees, the catalyst, but he has not done it in this series.
Slides up the bat handle, and that brings Madlock in from third. Takes it for ball one. So Dauer gets a Bibby fastball up and rides it out, and Baltimore jumps on top, 1-0, bottom of the third inning.
Tell you, if Bunbury can get out of it and get on, you'll see a different Birds team.
1-1. The 2-1 pitch to Bunbury. High pop up to the infield. The shortstop, Foley. 2 out. Now it's Kiko Garcia coming out. And this telecast presented by authority of Major League Baseball, intended solely for the private non-commercial use of our audience. Any publication, reproduction, retransmission, or other use of the pictures, descriptions, and accounts of the game without the express written consent of Major League Baseball is prohibited. That ball is hit to the right side and into right field for a base hit by Garcia. So Kiko is on at first, second hit of the inning off Bibby, and Singleton is coming up. Dauer hit a home run to lead the inning. 2 out.
Now the thing right here with Bibby, he's been missing on his breaking pitches, and it appears the Baltimore hitters now, they just lay back and wait for the express. They look for the fastball.
Manny Sanguillen on the dead run to the bullpen now, so that means you're liable to have, you got at least 2 working out there, and you might get a third one going any minute. You've got Rooker, you've got Blylev, and you've got the whole staff on call.
Keep wondering when this big guy is going to explode.
Singleton with no long ball in the World Series so far. He had 3 hits last night in the losing effort. The runner goes, the throw. Not in time. Oh, yes, they got him.
Got him on the head.
Right on top of the head.
He called him out. Foley's arguing, but he's out. Garner gets him away.
Foley's arguing with Russ Getz, and Russ is holding up the right hand, and now it's Garcia's turn to argue.
Now look at it again.
Flattened it out, he'd have been in there.
Keith, look at it again. It appears that Garcia goes past him with the slide right there, but before he gets to the base, the tag got him.
Tagged him right on the noggin. And so, after 3 innings of play, Baltimore leads 1-0. Have a look at the play here now.
He gets a good jump, Keith, and with a high leg kick by Bibby, he's a good man to steal on, but the throw is up the line, and here you see Foley come across. He can't make any kind of a slide, either just a straight-in slide, but he's made the tag, and then Tim Foley doesn't think that the second base umpire, Russ Getz, called him out, but he knows that he made the tag when they finally do call him out, and our congratulations to Earl Weaver.
Yes, indeed. The crowd just stood as one. They loved the Sly Fox.
We go to the top of the 4th inning. For Bill Robinson, Willis Stargell, and Bill Madlock, Scott McGregor now sitting on a 1-0 lead as a strike on Robinson. Bill hit a high pop to the third baseman his first time up.
Remember the man who took over as interim manager for the Phils when Ozark was released?
Dallas Green.
He will be named officially tomorrow as the new manager of the Philadelphia Phillies.
McGregor jams him inside, just missed. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I'll tell you, that pitch was a beauty, Don.
It was a good pitch. Good 2-strike pitch. Yeah, this little guy, he's got some moxie out there, doesn't he?
Got a bulldog in him. You know, just the way he looks at you. Pops it back. Oh, hangs up. Dempsey right at the plate makes the catch. And again, he had the ball moving in on the hands, and he just spun it right up in the air feebly for out number 1.
Remember, he pitched Parker perfectly. Bad knee and all, or wet even with a good knee. The way to get Parker out is high and tight. Jim Palmer told you that in an earlier conversation, and that's the way McGregor got Parker. He's handling these hitters up to now beautifully.
Stargell fouls it back. Willie hit a fly ball single to short left field that Lowenstein overran. Willie advanced to second, back in the 2nd inning, and couldn't move. The outfield gives him all of left center. I mean, all of it. That's flared off to the left side, about the same place he got his single the last time. DeCinces can't make the play. It rolls into foul ground, and Stargell stands at second with an off-field double.
That's twice Willie's gone to left.
Well, he was jammed with that pitch badly. Doug right now, I know he'd like to have that back over again to see if he could make the catch. He's running away from the plate, but right here, he actually overruns the ball. That ball is sinking and dying on him, going towards the line. See, he overruns the ball, then has to try and come back and make the catch. And he just outran it, that's all. But that is a tough play.
Well, you couldn't want a tougher hitter up, or at least the Bucks couldn't, from their point of view, than Matlock.
Hits it on the ground to Garcia. He goes to third to get Stargell and won't get him as his throw was off the mark, pulling DeCinces away from the bag. Matlock is on at first on the fielder's choice. Stargell went down hard. Willie was going to go rolling in there.
Well, it's not a good play on Stargell. That ball's hit in front of him.
Yeah, he made a bad.
And they have the play right there. Garcia has got him dead to rights. All he's got to do is make a good throw. But he throws it to the outfield side of the bag, and DeCinces makes an excellent play to just get onto the ball. As you see, Stargell, I don't know if Willie was going to slide or not. That was a late slide. He could have hurt himself. And he might have hurt himself a little bit.
So,
he's supposed to play golf tomorrow in Jimmy Rice's tournament down in Greenville, South Carolina. He's banging himself up. He won't be able to hit the snap hooks.
there's the slide again. So we've seen the second error by the Birds, who erred yesterday. We have not had good fielding throughout the series. And if you want to second guess people, some will say, where was Belanger?
McGregor delivers to Nicosia with one out. Stargell at third now. A ball to the outfield could get him home. Ball is hit sharply to the second baseman. Throw back to first, not in time. Dauer had that ball on its way to first in a hurry. Stargell obviously didn't go anywhere at third base. Now you got two out.
Now look who comes up as you look at this play again.
Well, a little nonchalant by the third baseman, Matlock. That was a very close play at first base, going back in there standing up.
Here is Phil Garner. He has tormented the Birds throughout the series.
Dennis Martinez now gets up to throw in the Baltimore bullpen.
That was another good pitch by McGregor. He got the ball in on Nicosia and jammed him as you look at Dennis Martinez. Earl Weaver will do the same thing. He will go to, we said tonight, McGregor and Staff as you look at Stargell at third.
Now they will pitch to Garner. Walked him intentionally the last time to pitch to Bibby. Ball is popped up for Eddie Murray.
They call him out, interference. Right there to make the call is Bob Engel. As Murray was in foul territory and he came back across the line, and Garner cannot run into that infielder. And right there, Bob Engel to make the call. And the side retired, but Murray might be shaken up a little bit.
He is shaken up, but it was an absolutely proper call. Unmistakably so. And this kid McGregor, he really comes through with, man, he's a solid pitcher. Look at this.
Well, you can't, the rule is you can't run it. That's why you have that 45-foot line. You've got to go to the right. And now Murray coming around as Garner tries to sneak on the inside.
It's got to go between those two white lines.
And so the Pirates have turned away at the top of the fourth, 1-0 Baltimore. That's Wild Bill Hagee and his cheering section in the upper deck. He's become the most famous cab driver in America. He's down on top of the Orioles dugout, but his folks are up in the upper deck. Except tonight, everybody, I think, in the stadium belonged to him.
The Birds are alive and flying, leading 1-0 as we start the bottom of the fourth.
Kenny Singleton leads it off, swings and misses for strike one. Murray on deck, Lowenstein to follow. Bibby comes at Singleton with a 95-mile-an-hour fastball off the radar gun. High pop-up. May carry far enough for Robinson, but it's Foley back there. Now Robinson calls him off, and Bill makes the catch. 1 out.
I tell you, look at the way this kid McGregor's pitching. Out of the 12 outs he's gotten, 6 have not gone past the infield. Pop-up caught by Dempsey. 3 caught by DeCinces. There was a short line drive to second by Nicosia. He's been masterful.
Murray struck out swinging first time. Baltimore leading 1-0 at bat in the bottom of the 4th inning. Home run by Rich Dauer, the only run in the game. Foul back, strike 1. Enrique Romo in the bullpen.
Thought his elbow was troubling him.
Well, he may be just testing it.
It's a little ouchy, but you got all winter to let that rest.
Bibby's got a tough opponent tonight in young McGregor. I'll tell you that.
Breaking pitch. Bites the inside corner. It's 2-2.
This is a good breaking pitch by Bibby. Murray pulling away from the pitch all the way, and he just forgets about it. He'll take it.
And so it's 2-2. Struck him out for the 2nd time tonight.
Now, the one thing about Eddie Murray, I know he's a dead fastball hitter, a good fastball hitter, and of course Pittsburgh knows that. And both times tonight he has struck out on the breaking pitch.
Jim Bibby now with 3 strikeouts in the ball game. Both teams have 3 hits. Baltimore leads it on Dauer's homer.
You know, the thing when you find out a weakness on a player, why, you just stay with it. There's no need to try and experiment and see if that's really true, and see if they're fibbing to you.
Fastball is outside.
Then about the time you change, excuse me, Keith, when you do change, why, that's when they start to figure out exactly what you're doing. Then you try and move another way, use another pattern on it.
That one was inside and missed the corner.
That's John Lowenstein's wife.
High on the left side. Deadlock, foul ground, looking at it, has a play, makes the catch. And so Bibby gets Baltimore in order in the bottom of the 4th inning. After 4, 1-0 Orioles. Manny Sanguillen comes to the plate as a pinch batter for the Pirates, and here's Don Drysdale.
All right, Keith. There's a story on Sanguillen.
All right, that story is very simply told. Sanguillen is an opposite field hitter, a right-handed pitcher. The ball curves outside, and Manny usually hits right with the pitch.
And that time he tried to go to right field. It'll be Sanguillen, then the top of the order, Moreno and Foley to face McGregor here in the 5th. 1-0 Baltimore. Both clubs with 3 hits.
There will be no patience in Chuck Tanner or Earl Weaver tonight. And that's why so quickly Bibby's out.
Good change. 0-2 the count.
1971, Manny Sanguillen was a starting catcher for these Pirates. Had a .319 season and hit .379 against Baltimore in that 71-7 gamer. The 2-strike pitch. Right back to McGregor. And that is out number 1. So the Bucks have had some opportunities tonight. They have left 5 men on through 4. Where Baltimore has left but 1, but Baltimore on top thanks to the home run by Rich Dauer. 1-0 as Moreno comes on.
And last inning, although McGregor had 2 men on base against him, it was not all of his doing. The Sensei overrunning. It's going to be Robinson who's coming in for the Bucks. He of the supposedly tender shoulder.
0-1 to Moreno, and as this game goes along, every strike and every out, this crowd is going to become more vocal. Foul away, and the count 0-2.
Oh.
Just missed with a breaking pitch. 1-2.
That was a teaser, my angular friend.
I was talking to Scott, getting with him He was having batting practice and got little signs of salt and pepper in his hair. That's the left field. Lowenstein comes on and just about got tangled up.
He really fought that ball.
Now there's 2 gone, and that brings on Tim Foley. His 0 for 1. He sacrificed. That was in the first inning to move Moreno to second base, and he bounced to short. But I was talking with Scott McGregor about some signs of gray in his hair, and I said, how did that happen? I said, overnight? He says, some of it.
The rest of it happened when he was in the Yankee organization. 3 years with them, discouraged, going nowhere. Got a new pitching life in that big trade involving Ken Holtzman when he went to the Birds. And he beats the good teams.
Line to left, and right there's Lowenstein out number 3. So the Bucks are gone. 1, 2, 3. And after 4.5 at the halfway mark, it remains 1-0 Baltimore. Now Don Robinson, the second Pittsburgh pitcher of the night, as Jim Bibby has been lifted for a pinch hitter. Robinson, you see 8 and 8 on the year. That's what he's done in the World Series. He's worked 4 1/3 innings, allowed 3 hits. He's walked 5, struck out 3, but he picked up a win, and that was in game number 2 on the 9th inning single by Manny Sanguillen.
But the walk figure is what has to worry you about this young man, because with a very hard fastball and a very hard curve, there is a tendency toward wildness, and he can get you in trouble in a hurry.
Now he will go to DeCinces, Dempsey, and Dauer in that order. That is the lone tally of the ball game. A first pitch fastball to Dauer, and Baltimore was on top 1-0, and that's where we stand. DeCinces, a 2-out single in the second inning. 0-1 the count. Looked like he kind of held back a little bit. Just kind of watch him on that. There's a good breaking pitch.
Really was. Tied Doogie up.
Take another peek at it, and he's got a good one. He's got a good, hard breaking pitch. Action out in the Pittsburgh bullpen. As you see, Tanner, he's not going to take any chances. He's got Bly, Levin, and Jackson. A line drive up that's a base hit as Moreno will run it down. DeCinces aboard, and we'll see how Earl Weaver wants to play it right here. There's the bullpen. Bly, Levin, the right-hander, and Jackson, the left-hander.
Bly Levin has been superb in this World Series. He's put to rout the notion that used to be rooted about the American League that he couldn't win the big ones. He sure has for the Bucks. There he is. DeCinces coming alive. 3 for 21 going into this game. He's 2 for 2 today.
Well, the leadoff hitter aboard, and here's Dempsey. As Weaver checks, he might bunt. 1-0 the count. Dauer on deck, and then the pitcher spot, Scott McGregor.
Now let's see if Rick goes to right field. He admitted had a change of pace pitch, had him out in front in a key situation yesterday, causing him to hit into a double play, pulling the ball right to Tim Foley.
Dempsey shortening up that first pitch as if he was going to bunt, taking that pitch outside, but I got to believe Dauer, the 8th place man, they might walk him with 1 out if the sacrifice is successful and just pitch to McGregor. In a situation like this, if you use your good move to first base, that third baseman, all he's got to do is watch the hitter and see if he might give it away a little bit, if he is going to bunt or swing away. He's going to bunt, and it's fouled away. 1 ball, 1 strike the count.
Let's see if he stays with the bunt.
Just outside, and the count 2-1. Nicosia, I believe, wanted that pitch.
Dempsey looking down to check that sign again.
He's going to stay with the bunt, and he fouls it away.
Not anymore.
Going to take it off now. That should be playable right field. Parker to the line. And that is out number 1.
Not that time.
Now Dempsey cannot sacrifice the runner along and flies to right. 1 out to Rich Dauer.
couldn't hit the ball down. Robinson didn't give him the pitch to Butcher Boy the ball.
Well, as we said before, it was Dauer's home run to lead off the third inning. That's the difference in this ball game. 1-0 Baltimore. Nicosia and Robinson will have a little chat. You know, the old coach out at USC, Keith, Rod Dato, got to be happy about that.
Yeah, he jumped 9 feet when he hit that ball.
That's one of his boys out of the University of Southern California.
Yeah. He was our teammate to Fred Lynn, too.
Monday Night Football, solid ball game. The Bronx against the Steelers. Throughout the Steelers lost to the Bengals. They've been injured. Some of them are getting well. They are the mighty Steelers.
Good breaking pitch by Robinson. 0-1 the count.
Robinson is looking surprisingly sharp with that breaking pitch.
Well, for a guy that's had the bad shoulder that we've heard about, there you see the breaking pitch again. He's throwing well.
Broncos stay up there year in and year out, Keith, with that defense.
Pittsburgh must be a mess, though, after what happened to him last week. That's so many people that had trouble getting enough to suit up, didn't they?
3 linebackers out, Lynn Swan out. But they'll be back.
Runner goes. And it's fly to center. Moreno, lots of room, playable. Out number 2. Yeah, that will bring up the pitcher spot, and it'll be Scott McGregor. He bounced it short his first time at bat.
You hate to get a man on to open an inning and never move.
This is outside, and it's 3-0. Well, after DeCinces singled, Robinson got Dempsey on a fly ball to Parker in right, Dauer on a fly ball to Moreno in center, but now has fallen behind 3 balls and no strikes to McGregor. There's the strike, and the count goes to 3-1. Stargell, you see, holding DeCinces at first. Strike 2, full count, 3-2, 2 outs. DeCinces will be going.
You knew Earl Weaver wasn't giving him the hits up.
Runner goes again, and it's low for ball 4, and he walks in.
All right, we come to Bumbry, the man who has not come through, the man who is now 3 out of 20 on the series, but the man who is a much better hitter than that, and the key to the Baltimore Ball Club, because when he's getting on, he makes things happen. Here comes Chuckaroo.
He's liable to go to the bullpen. Jackson was throwing in the bullpen along with Blyleven, and he's going to go to Jackson. He's not going to take any chances right here. And now the move will go to Earl Weaver as you look at Jackson. Now
let's see if he puts Renicky in, because Renicky is a good hitter, but he is not that good a center fielder. As you see Jackson coming in, and we'll be back in a moment.
Well, the numbers on Grant Jackson: 72 appearances in 1979, outstanding ERA. He pitched for Baltimore back in 1971. He had a record of 4-3 in 29 games for them. He had 9 starts. And in the World Series against Pittsburgh, he pitched 1/3 of an inning. And this is what he has done here in the 1979 series. And he was the top left-handed reliever for them, for the Orioles, 71 through 75. Now he's wearing the other color.
He went with the Yankees, did yeoman service for them. Birds wanted to get him back, and they did, ultimately. Now he's staying with Bumbry, and clearly with a 1-run edge, he's staying with him for defense.
Well, he's got to do that. Right now, you've got left-hander to left-hander, and that's one of the things that Chuck Tanner had in his mind, too, besides not taking any chances with Robinson, as that pitch fouled away. Piece hanging down under the mask, as we've said before, just to keep the foul tips away from the throat. 1 ball, 2 strikes to count. Bumbry does not have the same swing against the left-handers he does a right-hander.
He really doesn't. Everything is defensive. He's falling away from the ball and just laying the bat out. He's 0 for 3 against Jackson in the series.
The last appearance by Jackson was in Game 4 on Saturday. He faced just 2 hitters. Retired both men.
Look at
Little
that.
looper, it's playable. There's Madlock in front of the Baltimore dugout to make the play. So it's still 1-0 through 5, and we'll be back with more baseball after this word from our local station.
To learn about winning, to know exactly what it takes in order to win, the formula for winning. I've said it many times to a lot of good people, and I'm sure these gentlemen up here behind me will echo the exact things. A winner expects to win in advance, long before it happened. A winner has seen it, had the vision, and settles for nothing less.
Well, we've talked so much about how Dempsey handles this Baltimore staff. Howard talked to him. He had his opinions of Scott McGregor.
Now, do you feel that Scotty has the ability to hold together the second time around against this club?
Well, I definitely do. I have a lot of confidence in Scotty. He's been our best pitcher the second half, along with Mike Flanagan. They've been throwing very close together. And he's consistent. He's not going to walk anybody up there tonight. He's going to go right after him. And they're going to have to swing the bats like they have been in order to beat us. But I really have a lot of confidence in Scotty. And if he should happen to get into some trouble, we still got Flanagan coming out of the bullpen to back him up.
Well, Scotty has only walked one batter, and that was an intentional walk to Phil Garner in the second inning. So Dempsey's words ring presently true.
And it'll be Parker, Robinson, and Stargell, the mate part of that Pittsburgh lineup here in the sixth. 1-0 Baltimore.
This should be a testing inning for the young southpaw.
That'll be out of play left side. So through 5 innings and 1 pitch to Parker, McGregor has thrown 57 pitches.
Remember what Parker told us in the interview you heard earlier. Explained why so many of his hits were going to left field. Inability to push off the back foot because of the damaged knee.
Jams him with a good fastball. Dauer to Murray, out number 1. Boy, that was an excellent pitch by McGregor. Did you look at it again?
Last time he struck him out with a high tight pitch. Here he jams him, as Don told you. And that was all he could do with it.
Yeah, there's one gone to Bill Robinson. He's popped to third and popped to the catcher. 0 for 2.
Pitch like that, you're better off going inside out.
Good change. Well, that's the change that McGregor taught Flanagan. These two are very close friends, fishing partners. Hit hard. Garcia on the hop, coming up and over the glove as Lowenstein will get it back in. A big turn by Robinson, but he'll hold it first. So 1 out, 1 on to Stargell. That ball hit hard and had the top spin.
Nothing Garcia could do with it. The ball played him. Look at this hop.
Well, that's a base hit. The hits are even at 4 apiece. Baltimore on top 1-0 to Willie Stargell.
That McGregor changeup that you've seen so much of tonight.
Hit well, right field. Singleton to the wall, and this ball is gone.
Willie Stargell, the big man. 7 times he had come to the plate in this series with runners in scoring position and failed. But suddenly, and we said this would be a testing inning for the young southpaw, suddenly with 1 swing in the race in the wake of Robinson's bad hop single, turns it around for the moment.
Now the Pirates, they're a happy bunch as they greet the old pro, Willie Stargell.
In the sixth, Bill Robinson, another late-blooming Pirate veteran, wraps a 1-out single past Garcia at short. With Baltimore fans counting down the outs, Pittsburgh's Man of the Year takes his cut. Young McGregor knows the score, and so does everyone watching Willie Stargell clock the bat. Bill Robinson tells the story in Dance Memorial Stadium in silence. This large man has finally met his long-deserved hour of deliverance in the game of baseball, as it did for his late teammate Roberto Clemente in '71. The spirit of Willie Stargell comes home to its source, the family.
Nice call, Will. Way to go, big man. All right, that's the way to put us in front. All right.
And in the 7th game, with the chips on the line, Stargell is 3 for 3 as you look at the Pittsburgh cheering section that has come in from the Steel City.
2-1 Pittsburgh as Madlock fouls the first pitch away. Well, that fastball down and over the plate, and Stargell got it all. You're going right into a dangerous zone when you get that ball down to Stargell. Look at the bullpenners. They're rooting it out.
Wonder.
That will be just foul. That ball's fair. It's a base hit.
This game, by the way, a one-run game. It's the Birds kind of game throughout the year. Hang in there, come back, win it. And this young man won't knuckle under.
And the bell rings in the Baltimore bullpen. We get some action out there.
But Willie Stargell, who came into this game 8 for 25 in the series, is now 11 for 28. And maybe he's thinking about MVP.
High hopper, a fair ball to Sensei, a tough play to get him.
Great play. That's at least twice in this series that Doogie has gone deep behind third and made the longest kind of throw a third baseman can make.
He is over in foul territory. A good play. He sets in a good, strong throw to get him in Madlock. He can move down the line. And there's 2 gone. Willie Stargell just kind of savoring that last swing of the bat, but it's still an iffy situation. This is Nicosia, and the play by the shortstop, and that is out number 3. So Pittsburgh going in the 6th, but they picked up 2, and after 5.5, it is now 2-1 Pittsburgh.
That McGregor changeup that you've seen so much of tonight.
Hit well, right field. Singleton to the wall, and this ball is gone.
Willie Stargell, the big man. 7 times he had come to the plate in this series with runners in scoring position and failed. But suddenly, and we said this would be a testing inning for the young southpaw, suddenly with one swing in the race in the wake of Robinson's bad hop single, turns it around for the moment.
As we go to the Baltimore 6th inning of play, the Pirates on top 2-1 on that man's one swing of the bat. Willie Stargell, a 2-run homer in the Pittsburgh 6th.
Mike Flanagan in the bullpen. So Earl Weaver staying on top of things.
It'll be Garcia, Singleton, and Murray to face Grant Jackson, the 3rd Pittsburgh pitcher. Bibby started, then Robinson, now Jackson. Good fastball for the strike.
Even though Murray is a switch hitter, Earl wants to be ready with Lee May because John Lowenstein comes up. Bowie Kuhn, President Carter, House Speaker, Congressman O'Neill from Massachusetts.
0-2 the count.
There they are, left to right.
Asphyxiating the president and the commissioner with that cigar.
What makes you think your pipe is better?
Better than your cigar.
Pops him up, and Garner will take charge. And that is out number 1. Chuck Tanner going to the pen again. He's got Blyleven up and throwing.
Right fielder, Ken Singleton.
Here's Kenny Singleton, 0 for 2. Has bounced to the first baseman with a pitcher covering, and he's flying to left. He will turn around, and he will hit from the right side. So the next 2 hitters, switch hitters, and Singleton and Murray. That's a fly ball center field, hit well. Moreno has a play, and that is out number 2. So Singleton goes to the deep part of the ballpark.
That ball was hit.
But I was standing downstairs prior to the game with Bob Uecker and myself were talking with Lynette and Skinner, and they both had a star. I said, what in the world did you do to get a star? I said, we had to steal them.
Ueck's here, huh?
He's here. There's Earl Weaver, Eddie Murray the hitter. Pittsburgh on top, 2-1. Pops him up. Playable. Stargell through the coaching box. And that is out number 3. And Baltimore going 1, 2, 3 in the 6th through 6. 2-1. Pittsburgh. As you've heard us comment, Chuck Tanner's mother passed away early Sunday morning. Howard talked to Phil Gorner on the effect of that on the team.
Did the death of Chuck Tanner's mother have any impact upon your team?
I think it could have had a subtle effect on our ball club. We've had a close rapport with Chuck Tanner. He does have a close rapport with his entire ball club, and he has been with the Buccos. He was with the Oakland A's, and I think each individual ball player went in and said something to Chuck, expressed their condolences to him and his family. But as you know, and as we all feel, baseball is such a big part of our lives and our families' lives that they certainly don't want us to let things stop. And in this case, I think it probably helped us, spurred us on a little bit to victory.
And there's Chuck Tanner. That ball to DeCinces, a tricky hop, but he stays with it. He's got to hurry. And they just do get him on a close play.
And he's hollering about it when he's out. See him waving his arms as Doug DeCinces from Valencia, California, plays it right off his belly button and then comes up winging it, and he gets it there just in time. A very close play at first.
I'll say it was a close play.
That was close.
Brad Jackson, the pitcher, and the bat explodes on him. Garcia feels that one in the tummy, and he gets in by less than a half a step. So 2 very close plays at first base retire the first 2 Pirates. And now Chuck Tanner has gone out to have some conversation at first base with Bob Engel. You see Garcia battling with it, comes up throwing, and let's have a look at this one at first base. And that one's not quite as close as the other one.
No question on that call.
There was some on the first one, though.
Chuck went out there just to let Engel know, hopeful of getting a better decision on the next close play, should there be one.
Well, that's about it. That's all a manager can do on some of those, unless they really think that they're right. Just keep them alive. That's about it. But I'll tell you, the umpiring has been exceptional in this series.
Here is Moreno now, the top of the order, in the top of the 7th inning, and he pulls it sharply down the line, just foul. Boy, that thing gets rattling around in the corner over there. Who knows how far this long-legged gazelle would have traveled, at least 2.
Moreno has come on like gangbusters late in the series, hitting sharply.
To the right side, and Dauer can't come up with it, and Moreno was aboard.
As he did there.
So he has 2 hits and 4 trips tonight, and you see the effort by the Baltimore second baseman.
Good effort by Dauer, but as we said right at the top of the game, that this infield and the outfield is fast. They have put down a 1,500-pound roller on it, and they have rolled all the holes flat if they possibly can, and this field is in good shape for what they've had to work with over the past week.
Moreno on first with 2 out now. McGregor will hold him close as Foley comes to the plate. A 2-1 ball game.
Well, with 2 outs, we should look for Omar to move along.
Well, with the count 1-0, Foley in charge right now. He'll check with Joe Lynette. You might see Chuck Tanner start to move him.
I'll tell you, McGregor, as he gets a strike in to make it 2-1, he has Moreno totally tied up there.
Has him going the wrong way every other pitch. All the time. Now watch this. Split screen tells you the story.
Now it's getting down to the moments when we're going to start talking seriously about the most valuable player. Got a big fancy dinner planned in New York City. Bring back as many of the MVPs of the past as possible on this 25th anniversary. Foley rolls it toward the hole. DeCinces cuts it off, goes to second. Moreno's out, going down. And so the Pirates are turned away in the middle of the 7th inning. Pittsburgh leads Baltimore 2-1. There's the line score in the ball game. And we'll go to the Baltimore 7th inning of play in the final game of the 1979 World Series. Gary Renicky will come to the plate to face Grant Jackson. Jackson is high and away in his first pitch to Renicky for ball 1. Baltimore stranded 3 base runners so far in the ball game. That pitch is on the inside corner.
Oh, that was a beauty. That tied him up. A lot of action in the Pittsburgh bullpen. Steady action. Look at this again.
Right there.
Strike 2.
Renicky, a little unusual hitting stance. He probably carries his hands lower than anybody in the American League in his stance when he gets into this position.
Rooker has joined Blyleven now in the Baltimore bullpen. Rooker, the left-hander. And Renicky is gone.
Jackson
just like
made
that.
it look easy. And look at the bullpen.
Look, Blyleven and Rooker. Blyleven the right-hander, Rooker the left-hander. They teamed up for the last win, a must-win over in Pittsburgh on Sunday. That got him back here to Baltimore.
Well, you had Chuck Tanner going with a left-right combination in the last 2 games, there being Candelaria and Tacova. Tonight he went with a right-hand lead, and it looked shaky for a while, but now he's back on top at 2-1 with the old pro Grant Jackson out there, 1 out, and DeCinces at the plate. And it's just low.
Boy, that's a great asset, Keith, for a manager that, and he's got quality guys in the bullpen that go from either side.
DeCinces hits it to center field, not too deep. Moreno comes gliding in and makes the catch.
Look how far Garner was out there.
Yeah, he's way out.
He gives up on nothing.
Got to think about Garner when you talk about MVP.
Right now, there's a fellow named Stargell.
It turns around. Who knows about Scotty McGregor? Rick Dempsey.
There he is.
Here's a guy that's got to get a vote or two, too. Maybe more than that.
The presence.
You see Stargell looking in at Nicosia. Had his hands out to the side. Said, yeah, I'll be alive if he bunts. They move him over to the line to guard the line. You've got the third baseman Madlock guarding the line, and also Stargell. He's just a big step off the line at first.
Hits it in the air to left field. Bill Robinson coming in, makes the catch. And so Grant Jackson's impressive as he cuts them down in order. 2-1 Pittsburgh. Back with more baseball after this word from our local station. Gary Renicky has gone to play left field. He plays the position well. He's there defensively for Baltimore. And for Pittsburgh, the batting order represents pretty much the ultimate threat for left-hander Scott McGregor here as Parker comes up to lead off, then Bill Robinson, and then Willie Stargell, and then if a 4th man gets a call, it'll be Bill Madlock.
Well, you have to feel for Scott. He's thrown such a beautiful game. That one pitch to Stargell where Willie could golf it out of the ballpark, and it came with Bill Robinson on first.
He's handled Parker tonight. They appeal, they call strike. Third base umpire Terry Tatum of the National League says he committed himself far enough.
Down to the last 2 innings. Still so much to go. Only a 1-run differential. But you begin to look at baseball history.
Ooh. Big David unloaded on that one and missed it for strike 2.
He had him tied up. An excellent pitch. And that's where you've got to try and keep the ball with a fastball on Parker. You got to try and keep it in. We've said that many times before.
Oh, he's a beautiful young pitcher.
That's fouled away.
The Bucks have won 4 world championships. Each one has come in a 7-game series, Donald. They beat the Tigers in 1909. They beat the Senators in 25. In 1960, they beat the Yankees. And in 71, they beat the Birds.
The 2-strike pitch is up around the chin. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. And there's the Pirate World Series history. They lost in 1903 to the Boston Pilgrims.
And they were buried by what may have been the greatest Yankee team in history. That's when John Milgis made the wild throw to close things out, the wild pitch.
That's looped down the left side, curving, and it's foul ball.
McGregor's whole job, keep them, look at that, against left-handers. See how effective they've been? Percentages don't work against these guys.
That's it. Parker's gone.
Scotty McGregor continues to do his job.
Well, he comes back with a fastball. Parker trying to hold up, but he just couldn't. He went around, and Jerry Neudecker right there to make the call.
Second strikeout for Scott. And here's Bill Robinson, who was on base after a single when Willie unloaded at 378 to right field. That's hit down the line and left. Reineke is there, and Gary makes the catch. 2 out.
Oh, when you say it's not over, of course, that is so true. And as we've seen already, just 2 swings of the bat, and that's changed this whole game around. Dauer's home run and Stargell's home run.
And the big man.
Willie Stargell, first year at Santa Rosa Junior College. He was playing football, offensive and defensive end, suffered a broken pelvis. He pretty well took care of his football play, and there's a shot down the right side. It is hooking foul.
Oh, that bat remains so quick for a man 38 years of age. Whoop. That's interesting, isn't it? Scored the winning run. Game 7 of the 71 World Series. The series,
2 strikes on him.
Series that was owned by the late Roberto Clemente.
Interesting thing here about, again, the character of McGregor showing through. Stargell jerked it deep to right foul. Scott comes right back with a perfect pitch, and he's got him in the hole at 2 strikes. Get out to the left side. Reineke on his horse, going. He won't get it off the wall, and Willie Stargell pounding into second base with a double. Stargell tonight, a single, a double, a home run, a double. How about that?
How did that old song used to go? Look at it again. Everyone knows him as old folks.
Well, Stargell's strong enough to hit the ball out in left field, too, as he short hops it off the fence.
Like the seasons, he'll come and he'll go.
Boy, he's having quite a closing night, isn't he?
He is now 12 out of 29 for the
Dempsey
series.
said to Madlock, he said, well, what do you reckon that big old dude had for lunch? We can't get him out. Billy Madlock has been handled tonight in the ball game, 0 for 3, with 2 out. We're in the top of the 8th inning. And they're going to load it up at first base, sending Mr. Madlock over there with a free ticket, and that will bring up Steve Nicosia, the catcher.
You know, kind of one of the ironic things about that ball hit by Stargell, that was the 96th Scott McGregor pitch. And that's all he took in his game in Pittsburgh to defeat him.
So we've got the first base bag occupied now.
Men on first and second, Nicosia up. Earl staying with the young southpaw, and he deserves it.
Hit toward the hole. Garcia's over, goes to get the force play on Madlock at second base, and the inning is over. So the Pirates strand a couple, and in the middle of the 8th inning, the Bucks lead it 2-1. President Jimmy Carter with Commissioner Kuhn and House Speaker Tip O'Neill sitting down now as we go to the bottom of the 8th inning for Baltimore. And they send up Rich Dauer, the second baseman, the pitcher's spot. McGregor's out on deck, and then the top of the order. 2-1, Pittsburgh. Dauer, who hit a 355-foot home run down the left field line, just drilled it right into the seats. The Baltimore's only run. Grant Jackson continuing to pitch for Pittsburgh, and that's hit high in the air to the left side for Foley, the shortstop. 1 out.
I tell you, this Jackson has come on, and he is doing some job. Thing you have to remember about Baltimore, the same was true during the season of the Bucks. Each team with a tremendous late inning ability.
Here comes Muscle to the plate. Lee May hitting for Scott McGregor.
This guy can kill you.
Here's one kind of the shames, or you might say, that of this series. This isn't right to me sometimes. And you stop and think of one year they have the designated hitter, another year they don't. Here's a guy that has done an outstanding job for the Baltimore Orioles over the last couple of years. This year, used primarily as a designated hitter, and he's only been at bat one time. That's something that I just can't quite agree with that. There's Rick Dempsey.
That picture tells a lot about this man. You can see disappointment there, and you can see hope there.
Lee May had 19 home runs this past season, so maybe he's the guy Earl was talking about. Off the long ball, who knows?
Well, there's no question the absence of the designated hitter rule has worked very hard against the Birds in this series.
Jackson changes, and it's 2 balls and no strikes to Lee May.
Now, Grant Jackson has faced this guy before many times. He knows what he can do with a swing of the bat.
2-1.
I must say Earl Weaver has made marvelous use of his pinch hitters in this series. Tied the series record of 6 pinch hits in one series. A record accomplished by 3 other teams.
Jackson walks Lee May. I suspect we'll have a runner very shortly for him. Yes. Here comes Mark Belanger out of the dugout. He will run for May.
Thought he had a bad leg.
Yeah. But bad leg and all, he's quicker, I suspect, than Lee. Now May does his job in one way. He gets a runner at first base with 1 out. Jacoby and Rooker in the bullpen now for the Pirates. Jacoby, the right-hander.
Bunbury, the man, the key man for the Birds.
Pitches in the dirt.
The man who's been so good. That was a fine play by Steve Nicosia.
Excellent play, because this ball down in the dirt, and he moves out in a hurry to make the play. Good play.
Got the whole glove behind it. Bunbury's failures throughout the series have cost heavily.
Crowd coming up to their feet. Bunbury slides up the bat handle. The pitch is low. 2 balls and no strikes. Bunbury takes it. It's 3-1.
Well, right now, Grant Jackson, he's walking a tightrope as they've got Jacoby and Rooker in the bullpen and Garcia on deck.
3-2.
There's Belanger at first. I got to believe that Earl Weaver, if he's got that bad leg or anything at all, he's not going to have him thrown out at second base.
Mark goes. Bunbury fouls it off. Belanger goes, and again, it's fouled away at the plate. Belanger goes again. It's popped foul back here. Mark goes. Pitches high. Ball 4. Bunbury's on. Now Garcia is called back. Benny Ayala comes out of the dugout.
Now what he's doing right here, he's making Chuck Tanner force his hand. If he goes with Ayala and Tanner lets Jackson pitch to him, or if he comes with a left-hander, I should say a right-hander, now he's still got Crowley on the bench.
It's exactly what he's planning. So,
Rooker is in the pen. Jacoby's in the pen for Pittsburgh. Chuck Tanner will not make a move until Ayala is announced.
Batting for Chico Garcia, number 27, Benny Ayala.
That means Belanger will go to short in the top of the 9th. Now here comes Chuck as Ayala is announced and comes to the plate. And sure, it'll be Kent Tekulve. Yep, right-hander. And Tekulve will be the 4th Pittsburgh pitcher in the ball game, but Jackson did a fine job while he was in there. Oh, Tekulve was something last night. So time is out in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pittsburgh leading Baltimore 2-1, and we're waiting for a pitching change for Pittsburgh. Here he is, as Tom Lasorda described him, that tall, skinny nightmare. Kent Tekulve walking to the mound, and he was absolutely spectacular last night. He just baffled the last 6 men to come to the plate for Baltimore in the 8th and 9th inning.
Look at Willie talking to him. So poised, that Starch. See that? Smile of reassurance and words of reassurance. So the Squire of Bethel Park, Pennsylvania, takes the mound.
Crowley now gets the call for Baltimore. Left-handed pinch hitter and outstanding during the regular season, and in the series ripped off one of those big doubles over in Pittsburgh that played such a major part in Baltimore winning.
Against that pitcher, against Tekulve.
It was Lowenstein and Crowley had back-to-back doubles in almost exactly the same place in the right field corner as Tekulve's pitchers were up. Last night his pitchers were right where he wanted them. And he was untouchable. Rooker and Blyleven still out in the pen. Rooker is ready. Rich Dauer a home run in the bottom of the 3rd inning. 1-0 lead to Baltimore. Robinson a single, Stargell a home run to give Pittsburgh a 2-1 lead in the top of the 6th. We're now in the bottom of the 8th inning with 1 out. Scott McGregor taken out. Lee May hit for him. Grant Jackson walked him. Then Al Bumbry was walked. Ayala announced a hit for Garcia. Pitching change made. Tekulve coming in. Earl Weaver then goes to Terry Crowley. High pop left side. Hanging up in the air. Madlock going right to the rail, and it's in the crowd.
I'll tell you one thing, there's some stomachs churning down in both of those dugouts.
Nothing at stake.
Huh?
Only the whole year's work.
Oh, yeah.
The championship ring.
Garcia with a drink of water. It's a difference, probably. We don't know for sure.
Not that much, about 5,000.
Yeah, something like that, 6,000 maybe. Looks like it might be 28 and 22.
Ballpark estimate, something like that, or maybe 30 and 25. Look at Rick Dempsey.
1-1 pitch to Crowley. 2-1.
He followed that pitch well. He stayed over it. He saw it was tailing out.
A 2-1 pitch now to Terry Crowley as Tekulve is taking his time, pitching at his own pace. Crowley's letting him. Hits it on the ground toward the second baseman, Garner. He'll go to first and get the second out. The runners move up. Belanger to third, Bumbry to second, and Ken Singleton comes to the plate.
Well, this is what you're getting down to right now. As Tekulve, of course, he's got first base open, but that doesn't mean anything. You've got Eddie Murray, the switch hitter, coming behind Kenny Singleton.
And he is overdue.
Yeah, but he's also in a big slump. I would think he'll pitch Singleton very, very carefully, which he would under any circumstances anyway, but try to get him to go for a bad pitch.
Tekulve's got to stay with his game plan. He can't worry about anything. He pitches his own way. He's a low ball pitcher, sinker ball pitcher. They will walk Singleton and they will go to Eddie Murray. And the case being right here that what it gives Chuck Tanner and his infielders, it gives him a force at any base.
So now the pressure shifts over to Eddie Murray, who has struck out swinging twice, fouled out to the first baseman. He is 0 for 3 in tonight's ball game. That makes him 0 for 20 in the last 5 games of the World Series. Fouled at the plate, strike 1.
Tanner's face speaks for itself, but Murray had his pitch that last pitch, Don.
You know what's funny? You think you go to spring training in March, you do all the hard work, you fight yourself through a grueling season, go down to the last day to win the pennant, go to a championship series, and it comes down to possibly 1 out.
A 1-strike pitch to Murray. Foul behind the plate, and Jacoby is out in front at 2 strikes, and now he can be double touched.
That's true, but neither of those pitches was a typical Jacoby pitch. They were not low, they were up there.
He got it up a little bit, and I think Nicosia is going out to talk to him right now, saying, come on, if you're ever going to make a ball sink, make this sucker sink right now, man.
Yes, sir. Look at that. That ball is right up and in there.
Well, your tendency, I suspect, in these circumstances might be to overthrow just a little. If you do that, it's...
And you do that if you're a sinker ball pitcher, and actually it straightens the ball out.
Yeah, that's right. 2 strikes to Murray. Bases loaded, outside. This might be a good time for him to come over the top on one of his infrequent occasions.
I don't know whether he was talking about that in the dugout today. He doesn't do that too often.
He probably is great. I wouldn't blame him. Just outside, 2-2.
He does not want to go 3-2. Discipline in Murray to lay off of the bad pitch, and also there's got to be discipline in Jacoby trying to still nip that corner.
Ball is hit to right field. Parker going back, stumbles, flags it down, one-handed. Dave Parker ran into a rough spot. It appeared in the outfield, or maybe it's the bad knee. Whatever, he wobbled. But he got back to make the play. And Baltimore is retired with the bases loaded in a 2-1 ball game after 8 innings of play. And right here, the Pittsburgh dugout must have really had an anxious moment. Parker goes right back to the edge of the track to make the catch. Whew, what a moment. We'll be right back with the 9th inning.
Still down 2-1 in the 8th, the Orioles get something going, loading the bases with 2 away against the now familiar specter known as Kent Jacoby. A sense persists that this is the final challenge of '79. Eddie Murray, suffering an 0 for 20 slump since Game 2, but still ever so dangerous. Murray drives it deep to right, but not quite deep enough. And the fans tell the whole story for Baltimore. A classic 7-game battle of brilliant comebacks by both sides now prepares for the closing curtain.
Mark Belanger, the great Golden Glover at shortstop now here in the top of the 9th inning for Baltimore. And on the mound, in relief of Scott McGregor, Big Tim Stoddard. Don Stanhouse said he was ready, but apparently he didn't sell Earl Weaver on the idea at all, and this big guy has performed well. Stoddard will be pitching to Garner, the pitcher spot, and then the top of the order. And in Game 7, 8 years ago today, October 17, 1971, Pittsburgh beat Baltimore 2-1.
And Willie Stargell scored the winning run.
Right.
That's amazing, isn't it? I don't believe you could have written a script like that if it ends this way.
That's the scoring summary. Dauer the homer.
Well, I'll say one thing. I just take my hats off to both of these ball clubs. It's been an exciting series. I hope that people watching it at home have felt the excitement that we've had here in the booth. It's been a great series to watch.
There's been a certain degree of unpredictability about it that it just made it vibrant at times. And there have been some moments of poor play, too.
Well, the Birds winning 2 of 3 at 3 Rivers. And the Bucks with a chance now, if they can last one more inning, to win 2 of 2 here at Memorial Stadium.
Garner drills it into the corner on Stoddard's first pitch. Ricochets off the wall, and Garner goes banging into second base with a stand-up double.
So he is now 12 for 24 in the series.
And Jacoby will hit.
Not a bad series for the young man. Started so poorly. Very first inning of the first game. Made the 2-run wild throw. Remember, on the Lowenstein grounder.
Pitcher, Kent Jacoby.
Garner coming off second as Earl Weaver prowls around in the dugout.
Somehow Earl always seems defiant, no matter the situation, no matter the score.
But is obvious. Jacoby pulls the bat away, and Dempsey fires it into second base, and Garner is back. And Phil, I'm sure, feels more comfortable now. He finally got his britches dirty. For he is a scratcher. He was way off the bag at second, and he has to go diving back in as Dempsey pulled the trigger on him. See the ball come whistling in. Jacoby gets it down. Garner will stay at second, and the pitcher Stoddard bouncing off the mound, throws to Dauer, covering it first for the first out. So the sacrifice effort does not work. Earl Weaver now coming out of the dugout and on his way to the mound, and looks like he wants a left-hander out of the bullpen. The left-hander would be Mike Flanagan. Mike Flanagan, who has had a bit of a sore back, but he's been out in the pen for quite a while warming up. And now Mike gets the call. Made 2 starts in the World Series. Tim Stoddard comes in, and Weaver convinced instantly, almost instantly, that he doesn't have the sharpness that he wants out on the mound here in the top of the 9th inning. Garner doubles in the left field corner. Jacoby is out trying to sacrifice, and here comes Flanagan. There's Garner, and he's the man they want to keep away from home plate.
Odd.
2-1. As long as it's there, they've got a fighting chance.
Odd in this series, Keith. Pirates pitching, if this holds, has in the long run been the determinant.
And the unexpected force, I think.
Yep. Bird's pitching, so great. Has not been bad. Flanagan did his job, as Earl Weaver said, so did Jim Palmer. But the Bucks pitching suddenly even a little bit better.
Flanagan handled Moreno quite well in the times he faced him. He comes high in there at the high part of that strike zone to get the call from Jerry Neudecker. 2-1 ball game. Baltimore left the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th. Ball is hit up the middle. Foley will come around, Garner will come around third and break to the plate standing. And it is 3-1, and that's exactly what Earl Weaver was trying to prevent. So Moreno hits it right up the middle to bring Garner home. And it's 3-1, and Weaver's on his way back to the mound.
So they get the insurance run, and you have to admire Omar Moreno. He got off to the most dreadful start as you look at it again, with that quick, clean, level swing right back up the middle. He has hit so many there in the last 3 games, and the young man, after that dreadful start in the World Series, is now 11 for 33. He's wound up hitting .333. Still, extraordinarily, the Bucks, with all their speed, have not stolen a base in this series, but right now, it's not mattering as you look at Stan, the man unusual.
Don Stanhouse does get the call, and the reason for it, Tim Foley is the next hitter for Pittsburgh, and he hits from the right side. Dave Parker comes to the on-deck circle, and as Stanhouse comes walking to the mound, Parker and Foley are having a talk. 3-1. Big, big, big run here in the top of the 9th inning. So here is Don Stanhouse to pitch to Tim Foley.
There are the figures Keith was just talking about. You're looking at Willie Stargell in the backdrop. He's the man who told me he'd tread water in the Pacific for 9 hours to play in a World Series. Well, he's not only played in it, he has starred in it.
The Pirate shortstop Foley, collared tonight, but has 9 hits in this World Series. 3-1 Pittsburgh. So Stanhouse trying to hold Moreno close.
Look at that dressing. The Bucks, as you see Matt Locke's name. Hello, Bill.
Stanhouse is in. Foley ready. Moreno edging off at first. And Stanhouse goes back over there as Murray holds him in the inside corner. Moreno at first with 1 out. Stanhouse lobs it over. More World Series have ended, or gone, I should say, the distance, 7 games, than any other time. 26 times the series has gone 7.
16 of those 26 times, the visiting team has been the winner.
Moreno goes. Ball is hit out into center field. There's nobody there. And Moreno turns and goes on to third. So Tim Foley punched it right out there where there was nobody.
It's almost as if he picks his spot and has the ability to hit it there.
Weaver coming back to the mound one more time. And you've got Dave Parker scheduled to come up. You've got Tippy Martinez throwing in the Baltimore bullpen. You may get another pitching change. As you see, Foley just jumped on that high fastball and rode it, just lifted it right out there in center field, and there was nobody there. The left fielder, Renicky, was playing in straight away. The center fielder, Bumbry, was way over in right center. Neither had a chance to get to the dying Quail. 1 run is in already. You have 1 out. You have Moreno at third. That could make it a 4-1 ball game with Parker coming up. That's why Stanhouse leaves and the left-hander Tippy Martinez gets the call.
There's no quitting, Weaver. If he's going to go down, he wants to go down with dignity. He doesn't want his team suddenly to be routed.
All right, Martinez coming in on the pitching change. Let's go right now to the city of Pittsburgh, where there's a great deal of excitement building. Dave Dials is in Pittsburgh. Let's join him.
We're in a bar, Market Square, downtown Pittsburgh, in what they call the Golden Triangle. And the celebration just didn't start a moment ago. This is a town of muscle, a town of strength. And these people never were desperate. They believed all along that their Pirates would win, just as they believe in the tough, rough Pittsburgh Steelers. So they said all along, don't worry, somebody will do it. We'll win the game. Probably Stargell will do it. Sure enough, Willie Stargell has done it so far. The Pittsburgh Pirates just a little bit away from winning another World Championship. Now, I asked the proprietor of this place not long ago, what's the capacity of this joint anyway? He said, we're letting everyone but the fire marshal of the city of Pittsburgh in here tonight. I was one place louder than this one time. I got in the wrong line and somehow got in a rock concert. Let's go back now to Memorial Stadium in Baltimore.
All right, David, and good luck tonight.
Stay in that crowd. He got off a line or two.
They're going to have a party in Pittsburgh unless Baltimore makes a big comeback in the bottom of this inning. Tippy Martinez coming into the pitching to Dave Parker now. You have 1 out. 1 run is already in to make it a 3-1 ball game. Omar Moreno is over at third base. He can score on a ball hit to the outfield. This is the 3rd appearance in the series for Tippy Martinez. He has no record. Big swing. Well, he was looking and thinking long ball, and Martinez had perfect location inside corner. Dennis Martinez is now up throwing in the Baltimore bullpen. Moreno at third with one out. Foley at first. Hits him. Tippy Martinez trying to come inside to Dave Parker, and he sticks it in his ribs, and the bases are loaded.
Things seemingly closing in on the Birds. Everything going wrong.
Bill Robinson.
Earl Weaver coming back out of the dugout one more time. And Bill Robinson coming to the plate, and Weaver wants another pitcher. That will be 5 pitchers in 1 inning, and that will be a World Series record. The previous record shared by several clubs at 4.
Chuck, you can see, is beginning to feel a little relaxed. His smile creases the corners of the mouth. And here comes Dennis Martinez with an excellent curveball. As you see him coming in on the little cart. And Weaver giving it everything he's got, trying to keep this now a 2-run ball game.
So Dennis Martinez is in for his warm-up in the top of the 9th inning with the bases loaded, only 1 out. He is the 5th Baltimore pitcher in the 9th inning. Dennis Martinez, no record, pitched 1 1/3 innings.
For the Birds, if they go down, a series of memories. How they were ahead, 3 games to 1. How they had captured 2 straight at Three Rivers Stadium. How they think back to that second game and the time Lowenstein hit into the double play instead of bunting. How they might have won it in 4 straight. Seeing Lowenstein right now. Stick of gum into his mouth. Earl Weaver in the corner. A subdued Frank Robinson. None of them ever expected this. Earl Weaver told you in the pregame interview he thought he had it won when it was 3 games to 1. And Flanagan, Palmer, and young Scotty McGregor before him. Baseball doesn't always work on the expected or on percentages. The game is unpredictable, and the Pirates pitching staff has become the dominant factor.
Now Bill Robinson steps to the plate against Dennis Martinez. A fly ball will score Moreno from third. If it carries to the outfield, a base hit might chase 2 home. Foley is at second. Parker is at first.
Most players, these Pirates, Garner, Stargell, Moreno, Parker, Foley.
The pitch to Robinson, and he goes down, and he is hit by the pitch, hits him on the left hand, and Moreno comes in from third to score the 4th run, and Bill Robinson is sitting on home plate holding his left hand. Chuck Tanner, the trainer, out to have a look at the hand. The pitch was high and tight to Bill Robinson, and it is a 4-1 ball game. So Earl Weaver shuffling through his pitching staff. Dave Parker is hit by Tippy Martinez. Now Dennis Martinez has hit Bill Robinson on the left hand.
Dempsey feels he's getting a rough break on the call. He's arguing that the ball really hit the bat. Weaver in the dugout. And suddenly the bottom is dropping out for these Birds. Such a gallant team that won 102 games in the regular season with what seemed to be and was the best pitching in baseball. You're looking at it again. Dempsey claiming the ball hit the bottom of the bat before the hand. The umpire deciding different.
Spray the hand to take away some of the pain.
You know what they sprayed it with? Ethyl chloride.
Yes. Never could pronounce that. I just call it don't hurt me.
An immediate painkiller.
The batter now is Willie Stargell. Garner and Stargell each have 12 base hits. The most hits in a series, 13, by Bobby Richardson of the Yankees in
and
64
Lou Brock.
and Lou Brock in 68. Stargell swings and misses, for strike one. 4-1, as Moreno has scored from third when Robinson was hit by the pitch. Foley is now over at third. It is 4-1, Pittsburgh. Over the pitcher's head. Belanger flags it, throws to first, double play. And finally, the inning is over. Baltimore's last chance coming up. Pittsburgh leads 4-1. Back to the bottom of the ninth. More baseball after this word from our local station.
The last act. 3 more outs. And Boog Powell is stopped by the overshift. Frank Robinson.
Better than this, fellas. We're better than this.
And now the last hope for the Orioles, Merv Rettenman. Hitting to the same spot that set up Baltimore's winning run the day before. But this time it's plugged up. And the game, the series, it's all over. Pittsburgh with a World Series victory as improbable as the one that shipped the Yankees 11 years ago.
That's the line score in the ball game. Kent Tekulve is out on the mound. Tekulve came on in the 8th inning. Bibby started. Robinson succeeded him for 2/3 of an inning. Don. Then Grant Jackson came in and pitched very well. 2 2/3. Now it's Tekulve out there trying to put the Birds away. He has a 3-run cushion. These two teams played in 1971, and Pittsburgh won here in 7 games, 2-1. Gary Renicky will be the batter, then DeCinces, and then Dempsey.
Picking out unexpected heroes. How about Grant Jackson? What a job he did tonight.
Renicky up against Tekulve. DeCinces waiting, and then Dempsey. Last chance for Baltimore. Too high. Ball 1. Strike.
That is a Tekulve pitch. Throw out the scouting reports. I just throw it low with the buggy whip on.
Swing and a miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Cut it up a little. Still, Renicky swung over.
53,733, the attendant. Grant Jackson, if it stays this way, will be the winner. Scott McGregor will be the loser. Struck him out. So Renicky swings and misses on a breaking pitch outside, off the plate. Here's another look at it. See the ball start its run right there, and it's just off the outside part of the plate for the strikeout. Now it's Doug DeCinces. 2 singles and 3 trips. Pat Kelly will come out and hit for Dempsey.
Birds had their big shot. Last inning. Bases filled. 2 out. Eddie Murray up.
On the corner. Strike call.
Sharp pitch by Tekulve. Murray did not hit the ball well. It was clearly playable, but Parker almost tripped under it, producing more suspense. But Dave got the ball.
Strike 2.
He really mows him, doesn't he?
He is spectacular. He's the one guy that if you met him on the street in civilian clothes, he'd be the last person you'd think was a major league pitcher. Boy, is he tough and durable. He struck him out on a bad pitch.
Terrible pitch. He had him buffaloed.
Watch this curveball go way off the plate. DeSensei, swinging weakly at it, strikes out. So Tekulve has struck out Renicky, struck out DeSensei. Now he pitches to Pat Kelly, who's 1 for 2. Tekulve needs 1 out for Pittsburgh's 5th World Series championship. Jerry Neudecker back of the plate, calling the balls and strikes.
Go back to Earl Weaver before the game, admitting that maybe Pittsburgh had the pitching edge.
Kelly hits it in the air to center field. Moreno going toward right center, makes the catch. Pittsburgh wins it.
And so this team, with its remarkable comeback capacity throughout the entire regular season, proved itself all over again, beating the Reds in the National League Championship Playoff Series, and then coming from a 3-1 deficit, and there is Willie Stargell.
MVP.
That's right, just named the most valuable player. It's as it should be. He's the spirit, the soul of the club. He's become one of the most important figures in the entire Steel City community, and there is the other, the man, the Reed, who looks like a Stanford College philosophy professor, university I should have said, and the fans from Pittsburgh are out there jumping, and indeed, the Bucks have gone all the way.
The line score in the ball game, 4-10-0 for Pittsburgh. For Baltimore, 1-4-2. The Birds stranded 6 base runners. They left 3 of them out there in the bottom of the 8th inning. All 3 of them had been walked. Grant Jackson will get the decision in relief. He pitched 2 2/3 innings. Scott McGregor will be the losing pitcher. He pitched very well. Willie Stargell set a new World Series record tonight with his 7th extra base hit, 25 total bases, tying a record. He is also the oldest player ever to win the MVP award in the 25 years that Sport Magazine has been giving it out. And so confetti flickers from the upper deck here at Memorial Stadium in Baltimore as the Orioles and their faithful, almost 1,700,000, came to watch them play this year. Been a marvelous year for them, but they are blunted in this World Series. Now, to the Victress Clubhouse, here's Don Drysdale.
All right, Keith. Well, Bill Matlock, I know one thing. There's a happy group of Pirates down here.
Oh, definitely, because we came in here, they said we was a no-name Pirate. Now, everybody in Baltimore know who the Pirates are and know what kind of ball and how they can come back.
Did you ever, what were your thoughts when you were down 3-1?
Well, I've been up against the ball the whole season in the National League East. We felt that we could come back, and we told the fans that we was going to win it in 7. We especially after beat Flanagan. We figured if we beat Flanagan, we figured nobody else on this staff could beat us.
That was a great Pirate victory, and congratulations.
Right, and Sarger, he's the greatest. He's outstanding. Most valuable player in the league and most valuable player in this World Series.
Great, Billy. Thank you very much.
Anytime there's a World Series and any kind of championship play, this type of magnitude, there's a winning clubhouse and a losing clubhouse. And over here, the Baltimore Orioles losing in 7 games tonight, the final ball game. And tell you, talk about 2 ball clubs, both champions, the Baltimore Orioles also, and Jim Palmer. It's been a great series.
Well, it really has, Bob, and it's really been a great year for us. I think everybody in this clubhouse really extends their congratulations to the Pirates. They got down 3-1. We went to Pittsburgh, won a couple games. I don't think that they thought we would win, and they came back and they just beat us. And you know, they're a credit to baseball. They had a fantastic year, and so did we. I think you know, 26 clubs go to baseball, to spring training, and they would all like to be in the position where we were playing in the World Series. And you know, we have no reason to hang our heads down. We play as well as we can. We just got a little bit outplayed, and you know, I guess you're supposed to be sad now, but I think everybody in here is happy because we just had a great year, and we'll be back, and we have a good young ball club, and we battled right to the end, but they just played a little bit better than we did.
Thank you, Jimmy. Now let's go back to Don Drysdale.
Thank you very much, Bob. And right here in the Pirate Clubhouse, I call Mutt and Jeff, or whatever you might want to call the Muggsy twins. It's Tim Foley and Phil Garner, and guys, congratulations. A great series.
It's something, you know, I'm only here for one reason, Don, and that's to give all the praise, honor, and glory to the Lord for putting me here. You know, it's 2 years, that he's changed my life around. He picked me up out of nowhere, and if somebody doesn't believe in miracles, they got to believe in them now, because they just saw a mediocre shortstop play shortstop on the world champions, and it's the greatest thing in my life.
You had a great series, and Phil, I know two guys right here that came over. You weren't here a couple of years ago, and you know this is a funny game, isn't it?
Oh, it's great. I missed out on the world champions at Oakland, but what a great feeling this is. I thought the greatest thing in the world was winning the pennant, and then I thought the next greatest thing was winning the playoffs. This has to be the greatest thing in the world now.
There is no quit in this ball club.
Well, how can you quit with guys like Willie Stargell around? He's just something. He gets younger every year. I think if he was to retire one of these days, I think we'd all go with him, because he's just something special to us.
You know, I think the big thing was that when you went back over and you picked up that, of course, it was a Sunday game. That kept you, made you come back over here into Baltimore. But from that time on, it appeared that momentum had shifted to the Pirates.
Well, it's difficult to say that there's momentum in the World Series, Don. Each day is such a new day, and both clubs get really up for each day. But we're a club that never says die. We've been down a lot this year, and we kept fighting back. It's a typical Buck win.
Plus, we caught 3 ground balls in a row, so it was something different in the first 3 games. We had to get something going.
Well, I know one thing, that when you look at the Pittsburgh victory, of course, right now, it's so many firsts for everybody here on the ball club, and that's got to be something that I know you'll never forget.
Certainly not, but that's a tribute to the great ball club. Everybody did a great job. Everybody pitched in. It's a great tribute to everybody.
Well, guys, congratulations. We got the big guy in here from right field. Dave. Okay, before we talk to Dave Parker, right now, let's go back over to Bob Uecker in the Baltimore clubhouse.
Have to come to Baltimore. It will be #1.
Thank you, Don. We got Rick Dempsey here with us now. And Rick, we talked to Jim Palmer just a moment ago. It's as we said before, it's a tough situation. There's a winner and a loser always in the World Series, and the winning ball club tonight, the Pittsburgh Pirates, is a great series, an emotional series. I don't know how much more emotion you could have involved in a World Series, but to you and the rest of the Baltimore Orioles, it's been a great year.
Well, it's been a fabulous year for all the guys here on this club. You know, we've had so many ball games where we came from behind in the 7th inning and great home runs to win ball games. We did the same thing in the playoffs. We came back, we played a tough team with a more powerful hitting lineup than we had in California, and we managed to beat them. And we came here and we won 3 out of the first 4 ball games, but I got to give that Pirate team a lot of credit. They just had guys up there that weren't willing to die, and they just kept coming back and coming back. We had the lead in 2 ball games, even though it was only 1 run, and it's just not enough against a power-hitting club like that.
You know, I think the one thing that the Orioles really neutralized, Rick, was the fact that they stopped the Pittsburgh Pirate running game. Not a stolen base in the series, and they stole 188 on the year.
Well, I knew that if my pitchers could hold the runners close to base, I wouldn't have any problem with any one of them. I kept waiting for Omar Marino to take his shot at me, but he proved to me that he might have been afraid to run on me. He wouldn't run in running situations. He just kept waiting back for me to throw a fastball to Foley, and maybe that was the strategy that beat us, because Foley got a couple key hits.
Okay, Rick, thank you very much. We'll try to get Earl Weaver for you. Now let's go back to Don Drysdale.
All right, Bob, thank you very much. Well, 3 guys that were certainly instrumental in tonight's win. And Dave Parker, I know that, well, the one thing that I had to ask you is, how close did you come from falling down?
I came very close to falling. Every step I took back on the ball, I was just saying, please, Lord, let me stay on my feet and make this catch. We were only ahead by 1 run, and I definitely wanted this. This is something I wanted all my life. You know?
I would have to say maybe this is just the icing on the cake for you, but still a great career ahead.
Yes, I hope so. If I can stay healthy, I had a lot of good people working for us this year. It's really a family, as we have publicized it. We done had great people working for us. Dick Gregory has put us on a vitamin program that we have been on just about all year long. And I tell you, he's a big part of the family, as well as all the players you see in here tonight.
Well, Grant Jackson, I know when you come in, why, you've been in many tough situations before, but you rose to the occasion, did an excellent job. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, Don. I was just glad I was able to come in and throw strikes. I walked a couple guys in the bottom of the 8th inning, but I had a purpose in mind. I didn't want to give Lee anything to pull to hit the ball out of the ballpark, and so I know most of these guys on this team, and that's where I wanted to pitch. I want to throw him something off speed. If you go hit a fastball, he's going to have to go outside to get a fastball away, but I just happened to miss. And a couple of pitches, I think I threw the boomer. I thought might have been strikes in the National League, but there were balls over here. So I just had to, crank it up and throw it up there, and hope he popped it up.
Well, you went with your best stuff, and Kent Tekulve, congratulations, another great game.
Well, thank you, Don. I'll tell you, it's a culmination of a lot of hard work by a lot of people, and we had 25 guys that just scratched and clawed all year long, and I was just really happy to be able to be the guy that was out there on the hill when that last out was made. It was a great feeling. I don't think so much for myself, but just a feeling of being able to do that and get that last out for the 25 guys that just put it all together and just work so damn hard all year long.
You know, in 94 games all year, how did you feel?
I felt great. I was throwing the ball good still right now. In fact, probably the only bad part of the season was the first month. I was throwing the ball bad at the beginning and finally got it straightened out. So we're on top right now, and that's where we wanted to be when we went to spring training. I told Madlock right before the last out, I called him over the mound and I said, this is the out we were looking for on March 1st. Let's go get it.
You know, I was in the clubhouse, and of course you both were in here. Ken, you had to go back out and do the 9th inning, but I think that's the toughest thing in the world, winning for those next 3 outs.
Yes, I guess it is. Tick has finished more games than I have, but you can't go out to anything in mind except to throw strikes and try to keep him inside the ballpark. And I told a lot of the guys, if you keep, our pitchers, if you keep them off the lines, you got a chance. I threw a ball to Kenny Singleton, which probably other ballparks have been out of the ballpark, but I know the stadium, and I said, if I keep him off the line, let him hit him down the alleys, we got an antelope out there, going to outrun the ball majority of the time anyway, and you saw him go back and get it, and I said, well, that's it,
Well, guys, a well-deserved win. Congratulations. I know you want to get back and savor that with all your teammates. And listen, thanks a lot for the time.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you very much.
And Chuck Tanner coming up with us. Come here, Chuck. Come on up. I know that one. Chuck, first of all, congratulations. A great series. You got a great bunch of guys.
Oh, Don, it's the greatest 25-man unit you could ever ask for any ball club to have. They just play together, and they were interested in winning it all, not in individual statistics.
Commissioner, it was a great series.
Great series, a great comeback for this Pirate club, led by this marvelous manager, and I'm proud of him and what he's done for baseball with this team.
Thank you very much, Don. One guy we can't overlook are our scouts. The scouts, the Major League scouts, all of them, they did the job, and that's why all these guys are here, because of the scouts in baseball. Both ball clubs, 2 great teams, and the scouts really deserve the recognition.
Chuck, was there ever a thought or doubt in your mind when you were down 3-1?
No, not at all. Not with this club, Don. They go hard all the way. All we needed was a 3-game winning streak.
Eric Peterson, congratulations.
Don, what a job everybody did. And this guy right here under trying circumstances. Real proud of everybody in the organization. Everybody did a good job.
Well, it was a great victory. Congratulations. Right now, let's move across. Commissioner, we have the owner's trophy right here.
All right.
And we get Mr. Galbraith up here.
Here's Dan Galbraith.
Dan Galbraith. Mr. John Galbraith.
I know he is.
Nice going, Mr. Galbraith. Nice going, everybody.
Mr. Galbraith, Don Drysdale. Congratulations. I know the commissioner has a presentation that he wants to make.
A little presentation I'd like to make. President, step up here. President's going to join us.
President Jimmy Carter.
Your mother's right. Your mother's right.
She is very happy right now.
Yes, sir. She's our fan.
I know she is.
All right.
Well, she loves every member of the Pirates.
I know that. Okay.
Well, we're going to send her the ball
tomorrow. All right.
Good luck. Fine. Very fine. It's a wonderful game. And a great series.
Oh, it was one of the greatest
Both teams.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Both teams played great. I know. They really did. Both played teams.
Let me make this presentation. We have behind the president here this great trophy emblematic of the 76th championship of the world. And I'm very honored on behalf of professional baseball to present it to John Galbraith, to Chuck Tanner. Chuck?
Yes, sir.
And to Danny. Pardon me, Mr. President. There it is.
Well, the championship trophy. Now that is symbolic of the winners of the World Series. And that we're going to try and move some of the other people around and try and get Willie Stargell, who has been named the most valuable player.
Oh, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Great series.
So thrilled you were able to be here.
Well, so am I. So am I. I noticed Bowie said that Stargell set a world's record for the most extra base hits in a World Series.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We got the ball for him. That's when we asked for the ball.
Oh, I see. I couldn't understand that.
So he could keep it. Right, right. And then that's what we wanted the ball for Willie.
Right. Good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Here's Willie Stargell right here. Willie? Well, congratulations. A great series. You're the most valuable player.
Commissioner, thank you, Don. The only thing I can do is thank the Almighty for allowing me to play as long as I have and enjoy the things that I've done. I have to say this because I really mean it. I get on my knees and give thanks. And we have an awful lot of fine friends and relatives. They've been behind us all year, and we've overcome a lot of things. We never gave up. We refused to be denied.
And I'm just so proud of each and every one of our individuals and to the Pirate organization.
I'm just wondering, you're taking young pills. What are those?
No, I'm just still excited. And these guys keep me going. They won't let me. But I'm taking tomorrow off, whether Chuck likes it or not.
You can handle a lot of stars now, right?
You get one of your own. Yeah. That's right. Now let's take a look at the home run by Willie Stargell. That was the big blow of the night, and then Pittsburgh went on. And Willie, go ahead, talk about this pitch.
Well, it was a pitch that I didn't want to try and commit myself on too soon. I was still out of a little front, but I got bat speed that I wanted to. I didn't really think the ball was going to travel that far, Don, but when I saw Kenny stop at this one point, I knew that it was enough, and boy, I was thrilled. And I knew if we got ahead, that our pitching staff, who has been devastating all year, would just come along and do the job, and they certainly did.
Scott McGregor is some battler out there, though, isn't he?
I want to just congratulate the entire Oriole organization. They're an outstanding ball club. It was tooth and nail, very exciting. And I can't think of any series that was exciting as this one.
Well, Willie, you know what's ironic about the whole thing is in 1971, you scored the winning run.
Well, now that you think about it, I did. Well, whatever it takes, that's what we were determined to do.
Pittsburgh adds 2 insurance runs in the top of the 9th. And in the bottom, a weary Jacoby is 1 out away from giving Pittsburgh its 5th World Championship. 4-1 Pirates. Pop Stargell and company have done it. Only the 5th team in World Series history to come back after being down 3 games to 1. It all tops a fantastic year of baseball. 1979, year of the fan, year of the Oriole, and most of all, year of the family, the world champion Pittsburgh Pirates. In a series overloaded with individual heroics, the Pirate pitching staff, led by Kent Jacoby, held Baltimore to only 2 runs in the last 3 games. For the Orioles, Mike Flanagan, soon to be named Cy Young winner, headed a starting staff often overpowering. Ken Singleton added a consistent bat, hitting .357. And shortstop Kiko Garcia led the Birds offense with a .400 average and 6 RBIs. But the Pirate offense could not be stopped. Dave Parker collected 10 hits, and so did Tim Foley. Pittsburgh's .323 average was the highest ever by a series winner. Omar Marino totaled 11 hits. Bill Madlock batted .375. And Phil Garner hit .500 with 12 hits, 1 shy of the series record. But most valuable, Willie Stargell, National League co-MVP, Championship Series MVP, and now World Series MVP at age 38.
From Channel 4, the Tri-State area's leading news station, this is Action News.
Well, Pittsburghers showed how much they love their Buccos today when 25,000 fans jammed Market Square for the official family reunion celebration. Here's how it went.
The gods of weather smiled on the city of Pittsburgh today as thousands of Pirate fans, literally standing hip to hip and cheek to jowl, jam Market Square to honor the World Series champions. It was the official welcome for the Pirate heroes, and while the fans chanted and hollered for their favorite player, the most popular tune of the day echoed out from Market Square. There were speeches by city and county officials, but the fans were not here to see politicians, but instead to see and listen to their Pittsburgh Pirates.
Thank you very much. I too have lost my voice, like I'm sure a lot of you have. I think the greatest thing that we can all do
this winter is to go wherever we're going in our travels and say proudly, we are from a city that has nothing but champions. We feel that you people are just as responsible for our winning as we are. Pittsburgh is a big family. I just want to thank each and every one of you for allowing me and my family to be brought here and welcomed. And I can't think of another place that I want to bring my kids up in.
Said we're going to do it different next year. We're going to lose the first 3 in the World Series and then win 4 straight. No, we don't want to do that. But all we can say is God bless you. Thank you. This is one of the greatest teams ever assembled in baseball. And it's just an honor to be the manager, the ball players, and the fans in Pittsburgh. It's my honor. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I just had to say, for Martin Sanguilla and the Pittsburgh Pirates, everybody give a big smile. I love you, thank you.
After we struggled to win the pennant, I thought that was the greatest feeling in the world. I was wrong, of course, and after we won in the playoffs, I thought that was the greatest feeling in the world. But obviously, this is one of the greatest feelings in the world, and I guess the only thing that can top this is to win another one. So see you next year, and let's be #1 again.